Hyundai have announced the specifications and prices in the UK for the IONIQ 3, and since it's a car I rather like the look of, in fact I was thinking of replacing our Kia e-Niro with one, and since I've actually sat inside one, prodded around with it a little bit, I've got some opinions. So let's dive straight in and talk about the specifications, prices and my thoughts on the IONIQ 3, and will I replace our e-Niro with an IONIQ 3? Find out at the end of the video. Actually, let's skip the Mystery V logo for this one and we'll dive straight into the meat of it. So here are the headlines. It starts at $22,235, which is pretty good for a brand new EV, but we'll find out why it's so cheap in a minute. This has their brand new Playos Connect infotainment system, which is built on Android Automotive. That's a big plus for me because cars like Polestar, Renault, Volvo use Android Automotive, and in my experience, that's really good. It means that Google kind of take over a lot of the meat of the car that a lot of traditional manufacturers seem to get wrong, and it makes it more of a Tesla experience. Also makes it more like any number of the new Chinese cars coming along. But anyway, I've prodded and played with the infotainment and it's really, really good. It's far better, I think, than previous Hyundai cars. This has an LFP battery, or at least the bottom trim version has an LFP battery. Now, LFP, if you don't know, is a type of battery chemistry. You've got the two main ones, LFP, NMC. Most EVs are NMC, but a lot of new EVs now are LFP. It's much safer, it's much cheaper, and it doesn't contain any cobalt or nickel, which are the two minerals that tend to be a bit difficult to get, and that's where you see all of the memes about African kids mining stuff for EV batteries. You don't have any of that with LFP. But they don't want you to have the LFP battery. And again, I'll tell you why in a minute. It's not an SUV, like pretty much every new car is these days, and it's got quite an interesting design. It looks a bit IONIQ 6, a little bit of IONIQ 5, I suppose, in there as well, with all the pixel lights and stuff like that. It's probably one of those designs where you could look at it and you think, my God, that's ugly, or you could look at it and think, my God, that's fantastic. And I actually really like it. And it's nice to see that they're also talking about efficiency, because they do say that it has a drag coefficient of 0.263, which apparently is good. This has plug and charge. Plug and charge means that you can plug it into a charger if it accepts it, plug it into a charger and it'll just start charging. Again, it's the Tesla experience. Just starts charging. You don't have to faff around with paying with a bank card or RFID card, things like that. So that's great that it has that. It's got something called reverse memory assist. This is only on the top trim level, and apparently it memorizes the last 50 meters of driving, and it means that it makes it easier to get out of difficult parking spaces. I don't really understand how that works, and I haven't tried it myself, but that's what it's got. And finally, with the headlines, this is just a 400 volt car. When I had the IONIQ 5, that was the first Hyundai with 800 volt architecture, and it meant that it charged incredibly quickly. We're talking 18 minutes from 10 to 80% at a fast charger. Now that was amazing. Unfortunately, this doesn't have that. Let's talk about prices. Now, first of all, big caveat, this is the UK specification. So the advanced trim starts at $22,245. That's for the standard range version. There's also a long range version, which is $24,245. Then you've got the premium trim, which is $25,945. The ultimate is $28,445. And the N Line Evo is $30,445. Now, all of those except the standard range version have £1,500 off with a government grant. It does mean that this actually undercuts the Hyundai Insta, which is a fantastic little car. Some EVs, like the Ford Puma that we reviewed recently, they have a government grant applied to them, which makes them much cheaper. Now, the Puma was £3,750 cheaper because of the UK government grant. Now, the government grant is a figure based on just how sustainable an EV is to build. If the battery comes from Korea, for instance, then it's not going to get the full grant. If it's all built within Europe, then there's a much higher chance that it will get the full government grant, which is why the Renault 4, Renault 5, a few Kias get the full grant, I think, but this doesn't. It only gets £1,500, and that's only for the NMC battery, the long range battery, not the LFP battery, which is a shame. And it's the same with the Kia EV2, and it's why the EV2 has this weird thing where the long range version is actually kind of cheaper, really, than the standard range battery. That's my dog barking. I apologise for that. Chocolino! No. No, no bark. No bark. No, no bark. Chocolino! The bottom trim level, the Advanced 22,235, is a pretty good price really. But why is it so good? Well, it's because Hyundai have been doing a little bit of cost saving here and there, and they've decided to take out the heat pump. The heat pump, which has been in all of their EVs, I think, from the dawn of time as standard. It's been a standard thing in Hyundai. Even when Kia have taken it out, Hyundai have left them in, which has been fantastic, but they've removed it for this, unfortunately. No heat pump is standard, so you can get it in the premium Ultimate or N Line Evo as an extra. So it's not standard in any trim, but you can get it as an extra, which I'll talk about in a minute. But you can't get it in the Advanced trim at all, unfortunately. So no heat pump is standard. There's also no battery heating with preconditioning. If you don't know what that is, it means that if you go to a rapid charger, you really want your battery to be just warm enough to get the fast charging speeds, because batteries like to be a certain temperature to unlock the fast charging speeds. This doesn't have that, so it does mean... So it means that if you get the low-end trim and you go to a rapid charger and the battery is cold on a cold day, you're not going to get the kind of charging speeds that you really want. And that's a shame. So just bear that in mind. If you get the low-end trim, you're not going to have preconditioning. And you don't have any heated seats or a steering wheel on the Advanced or the Premium trim levels. This I find really annoying, because if you really want to be efficient in cold weather in your EV, then the best way of doing it really is to have the heated seats and steering wheel on. It's the most efficient form of heating in an EV. If you put on the blower, then that uses more energy. So that's really frustrating that it doesn't have heated steering wheel and heated seats as standard. So if you want a heat pump, an 11 kilowatt onboard charger, because it's 7 kilowatts ordinarily, vehicle to load and vehicle to home or vehicle to grid, you've got to spend £1,250 extra for the EV pack, which is available in the Premium, the Ultimate and the N Line Evo. Let's talk about the batteries then. So you've got two options. You've got the standard range battery or the long range battery. Let's talk about the standard range first of all. As I said, this is an LFP battery. We love LFP batteries, they're great. You get 213 miles of range, that's 344 kilometers, 119 kilowatts of charging speed, which takes 29 minutes from 10 to 80% in good weather, because as I said, it doesn't have battery preconditioning. It's 8.8 seconds to 62 miles an hour, 100 kilometers an hour. It's got a 108 kilowatt motor and 250 Newton meters of torque. The 61 kilowatt hour long range version has an NMC battery. You get 265 to 308 miles, that's 497 kilometers of range. The reason there's a range there is that in the higher spec ones, you get larger wheels and that kills the efficiency a little bit. So let's say 308 miles, 497 kilometers, best case scenario. Now, as I said, this gets £1,500 off because of the government grant. It will charge at 110 kilowatts, which is 30 minutes to 80%, 9.5 seconds to 62 miles an hour, 100 kilometers an hour. Seems a bit slow, really. My old e-Niro was something like 7.5 seconds. And I feel that that's a nice speed. Now, obviously the 0 to 30 miles an hour is probably going to be nice and sprightly. I don't know. I have not tested it, but it does seem a little bit slow to me. Anyway, it's got a 99.5 kilowatt motor, and that's 250 Newton meters of torque. So kind of virtually the same sort of motor and torque as a standard range one. And it's front wheel drive, there's no other option. So it seems a little bit slow to me, but as someone said on the Instagram reel or the YouTube short or whatever that I did about it, I suppose it does keep the insurance cost down, and perhaps that's the case. Dimensions. One of the best things about it is it has a 441 litre boot, which is pretty good, really, for a relatively small car. How small is it? It's 4,155 millimeters length. It's got a width of 1,800. That's excluding the door mirrors, 2,100 millimeters with the door mirrors. I should just say 2.1 meters, shouldn't I? But anyway, the height is 1,505 millimeters, and the wheelbase, it's a pretty good 2,680 millimeters. So that pretty good wheelbase for the size of car does mean that you have a bit more internal space, and having sat inside it, it does feel pretty roomy for a relatively small car. The legroom is pretty good. My feet do fit under the seat in front, which is nice. I've got to say relatively small because otherwise people are going to say, Andrew, it's not a small car, is it? but you know, relatively small for modern standards. And you've got a turning circle of 10.4 meters. I will talk a little bit more about each trim level, and yes, it does mean I'm going to be reading out the press release, but I'll try to do it with as much interest as I can. The IONIQ 3 Advance is available from £22,245 and includes 16-inch alloy wheels, LED front headlamps and rear lamps, front and rear parking sensors, a 12.9-inch infotainment screen with wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, dual zone automatic climate control, rear view monitor, smart key with push button start, smart cruise control with stop and go and an electronic parking brake. Standard safety equipment includes high beam assist, forward collision avoidance assist, lane keep assist with lane follow assist, rear cross traffic collision avoidance assist and blind spot collision avoidance assist. So it's obviously good that you get all that sort of safety stuff as standard, but of course they do all that as standard because it helps give it a better Euro NCAP safety score. Does mean that we've got to put up with all the bloody annoying bings and bongs, of course, so let's hope that that's a bit better in this. Something I did notice when I had the Kia EV2 recently is that the annoying noises and beeps that you get when you go over the speed limit, they seem a little less intrusive than they were, so it might be the same on this, I don't know. The IONIQ 3 Premium builds on Advance with 17-inch alloy wheels, privacy glass, battery heating and preconditioning, so you do at least get that as standard in the Premium up. A 9.9-inch digital information cluster, rain sensing windscreen wipers. Oh god, so the Advance doesn't even have that. Electrically folding door mirrors, wireless smartphone charger, back seat pockets, solar windscreen and passenger seat height adjustment. Premium options include the EV pack with heat pump and vehicle to load functions. If you don't know what vehicle to load is, it's really good, and it means that you can plug anything with a normal 3-pin socket into your car. It's fantastic. It'd be great if you go camping, for instance, or if you have a power cut and then you want to plug stuff into your car. It's fantastic, and I've had it in the IONIQ 5 and I loved it, and I would love to get another EV that has it. The IONIQ 3 Ultimate adds 18-inch alloy wheels, navigation for the 12.9-inch infotainment system, matrix LED headlamps with dynamic welcome function, heated front seats, heated steering wheel, rear seat armrest, front seat lumbar support. So if I went for one of these, I'd have to get Ultimate, wouldn't I? Because I need my lumbar. Rear air vents, reclining rear seats, cabin ambient lighting, and highway drive assist with hands-on detection and navigation-based smart cruise control. Optional extras include the EV pack with vehicle to load and heat pump, the design pack offering vision and two-tone roof, and the comfort pack with an array of features from premium relaxation seats, heated front and rear seats, ventilated front seats, Bose Premium Audio and Digital Key 2.0, which I think means that you can unlock it with your phone, or probably a watch. The IONIQ 3 N Line Evo is the range-topping trim and adds N Line exterior design, 19-inch N Line alloy wheels, 14.6-inch infotainment display with navigation and wireless Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, suede and cloth N Line seats, N Line interior design with red accents, surround view monitor, blind spot view monitor, parking collision avoidance assist, 360-degree parking sensors, remote smart parking assist, and memory reverse assist. That's the fancy technology I was talking about earlier. The one that I sat in and looked at, that was an N Line. So any B-roll I show of me in that lovely looking red thing, that's what it was. That was an N Line one. Something I just want to check actually is the Ultimate talks about navigation for the infotainment system. Does it not have navigation in the premium one? I don't know. That would be crap if it doesn't. I would hope that, I mean, any new EV these days should have the ability to tell you how to get to your destination and tell you where to charge. I mean, that's just basic stuff. So I'll have to find out about that, won't I? But anyway, and then there's a whole load of different colours available. The fierce red one is, there's a matte version and a solid one. I saw the matte one, and that's 1,250. So that's the one that I'm showing you with the B-roll now. It does look very cool, I think. There's the matte red.
Che brutto. Awful. No one will buy that color. This is cool. I'm not sure about that. This is cool as well. Cos'è questo? White.
Yeah.
Yeah, either metallic, black, or this.
Okay. So if we were to get one, you wouldn't be too offended by it?
No, It looks okay. I have to see how it's inside. Some, I don't like this.
Click on interior at the top.
Dove? Oh, here.
Yeah, there. I mean, it's difficult to tell from there, really.
I really don't like the seats. They're too fluffy. Why is everything closed?
The black cloth, and then you got.
Oh, that's better. At least you can see what's going on. Oh, that's definitely closed. Why didn't they do this at the front, but just at the back? Can you see?
Oh, it's to show it's tinted, isn't it?
Oh,
it's to show that it's privacy glass.
Ah. I only like fake leather. This doesn't look like fake leather.
No, I think it's
It
cloth.
looks like warm stuff.
So what did I think of it? Now, when I sat inside it, I thought it felt good quality. I love the handles. That's one of the things I remember. The handles just felt lovely. They actually come out when you pull them. So lovely handles. I know that's a small thing, isn't it? But, you know, I like that. The charging port is above the front wheel on the right. I think that means that it's pretty good for Tesla superchargers, but I don't personally like going in forward when I park for charging, but I appreciate that there are some people that do. I thought it looked really good, but it does also look quite distinctive and weird, and yes, as I said before, it could be the kind of thing that you think is disgusting, but other people think is really cool. Like IONIQ 6, I think the IONIQ 6 has really grown on me because that's a weird looking thing as well. In terms of the price, I think it's pretty good, but I don't like the fact that so much now is an option. I don't like that at all. If you get a Leap motor, for instance, so Leap motor B5 is coming out soon if it isn't already. That's a bigger car, and that's 28,995. What are the options on that? The colour. Everything else is standard. You just choose your colour. And I like that. I've never liked all the Volkswagen Group cars, the fact that they've got so many different things as options, and Kia are kind of getting worse in that respect as well. And I appreciate that they're all just trying to keep the headline price down, but I do feel like it's a little bit disingenuous to put so much stuff which I feel is an essential really for an EV, like the heated steering wheel, for instance, to hide all that in different trim levels and all that. It just adds confusion, and I don't like that very much. So yeah, a bit of a thumbs down in that respect, but I suppose overall it seems like a pretty good package, but I'd love to know what you think. In terms of specs, I would love to see more power, but I'm really hoping that we see an IONIQ 3N, and they did hint when I spoke to Hyundai on the day I went to Everything Electric to see the IONIQ 3, and it sounds like they want an IONIQ 3N, and they think it might happen, but they can't say for sure. But I think that would be great. It's great size for I mean, that would be a proper hot hatch, you know, so that would be great. Would I replace the e-Niro with it? It's, of the cars that I've seen recently, it's the one that I would be more inclined to get to replace the e-Niro, because there was a good array of buttons as well as the touchscreen, and I like the fact it was Android Automotive. So I think Hyundai and Kia generally are pretty good with that, because I don't like just everything being on a touchscreen. I like having some buttons, and I think it got the balance, from what I saw, it got the balance about right. So I would be tempted in that respect, but it is slower than the e-Niro, of course, and a bit smaller than the e-Niro as well. So I don't know. I'd really have to show my wife. So
no, if this is the only option, it's out. Removed from our options.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. Nothing beats the e-Niro. Oh, shit.
So there it is, the IONIQ 3. I would love to know what you think of the design, whether you think it's woefully inadequate in terms of specs these days. I mean, obviously everyone wants a faster charging EV, don't they? But for the price, I suppose it's all right. Let me know in the comments. And if you've enjoyed this video, also let me know in the comments if you want me to do more of these sorts of videos, because I generally kind of avoid just reading off press releases. But if it's of value to you, then do tell me. So if you have enjoyed the video, press the subscribe button and the bell icon to be notified of other videos, and I'll be back very soon. Bye for now.